Proletarians of all countries unite. We are of the same blood, you and I. In the name of Peru, greetings to all. Chapter 6: Soviet Federative Structure. Now it is necessary to say a few words about why our republic is called federative. Federation means union, and federative means allied. A federative republic means an allied republic. This term is used to refer to republics or states composed of other republics of states or states. There are quite a few such composite states there where individual small states govern themselves but at the same time enter as equal parts into one large whole. Thus, the great North American Republic consists entirely of small republics called states. The Swiss Republic consists of a union of small republics called cantons, and so on. Our Russian Republic also consists of a mass of small republics that are part of it. And now the question arises, is there any differences in the union structure of all these republics and our Soviet Republic? To answer this question, one must first look at what the Union republics in America and Switzerland, these democratic and bourgeoisie states, represent. With a brief review of these republics, the essence of their union structure immediately becomes clear. In America, it is a union of very large states, where millionaires capitalists rule, who pull all the administration into big cities and suppress the independence of rural communities and industrial areas. In Switzerland, these are the same large states with the addition of several small, purely peasant ones, where self-government is in the hands of village kulaks and small proprietors. Both here and there, the bourgeoisie sets the tone in the general union of federative state finally pulls the power into their hands. Not so with us in the Soviet Republic. Our union is not a union of or federation of large capitalist states. We have no interest in struggling local life or taking away all power from it. We want the local life to develop as broadly and richly as possible, for everything to be done not be by order from above, but from Soviet power, to grow from the people's grassroots and independently carry out the common state work. That is why we have a union not of large states, cantons, or other similar republics, but a union of Soviets, starting from rural and volost, or in other words, a federation of Soviet organizations. That is why it is written in our constitution that Russia is declared a republic of Soviets of workers, soldiers, and peasants' deputies, and all power in the center and in the localities belongs to these Soviets. Article 1st or Article 1. While it is also specifically stated that within the limits of their competence, each Soviet is the highest authority within the given locality. The union of Soviet villages, volosts, and cities is the true foundation of our power, which goes so close to the people as nowhere else and forms the power of large uyezds and provinces. Only with the help of congresses from the smaller Soviets, such as rural, volost, and city. We are often not understood why each congress of a large part, such as a province, is formed not directly from deputies from the population of villages and cities, but from deputies from uyezd congresses and sent by local Soviets. But the fact is that our uyezd is a union of small Soviet localities, and the province is a union of uyezd and city, and where there is a region, it is a union of provincial and uyezd. In a word, all our power goes from the bottom, from the localities on to the top, and by means of increasingly bordered unions, finally rises to the General Union and the All-Russian Congress, with its All-Russian Central Executive Committee at the lead. From step to step, from the rural and city Soviet to the Uyezd Congress, from the Uyezd to the provincial, from the provincial to the regional, from the regional to all Russian. This is how the Union power grows and expands, which is based not on coercion from above, but on unity from below, on the strong, unbreakable brotherhood of all workers and the poorest peasants, on the great unity of the Soviets, which ultimately gives central power, and it falls to the lot to conduct all the general Russian affairs, to take care of what individual local Soviets cannot take care of. It would be seem that such an arrangement of Soviets treatments with great danger, and each local Soviet can easily separate from the other Soviet localities, declare itself independent, break the great union of Soviets, and, for its local benefit, despise and destroy the great all-Russian cause. Of course, such cases are always possible in a free country, and it has happened repeatedly that individual volos, cities, and sometimes even uyezd started to cause trouble, refused to obey the Central Soviet authority, and arranged all sorts of chaos, outrages, and destruction. However, in all such cases, the enemies of Soviet power, old tavern keepers and shopkeepers, bloodsuckers and landlords, black hundred clergy, or directly retired bailiffs, officers, and officials invariably stood behind such violations of union loyalty and discipline. And it is understandable. Where indeed the working rural and urban population stands at the local power, nothing of the kind can happen. The proletarians and the poorest peasantry know perfectly well where their support and strength lie. Only in close union with each other, only in the constant support of all Russian Congress and the Central Committee lies all their hope and strength. If the Soviets go astray, the enemies of working people will immediately take advantage of this drive wages into the body of the Soviet Union, separate individual localities to conflict terrible wounds on the entire power of workers and peasants. Unity and discipline hold the Soviet power. Disunity and arbitrariness destroy it. And therefore, it is correctly written in our constitution that all Soviets first of all implement all decisions of corresponding higher organs of Soviet power. Article 61, Clause A. And correctly, without this, the Soviets would not exist for a single minute. Unity of action, unity of power, the first and the main task of the current Soviet system, and this task inevitably arises from the necessity of waging a life and death struggle with the oppressors and tormentors of the working population. To achieve victory here, according to the constitution, a powerful all-Russian Soviet power is needed, or as it is otherwise called, the dictatorship of the urban and rural proletariat and the poorest peasantry. Art 9. This is the end. Thank you for your attention.